to know you long after your time on this earth is finished. Hannah, you've got some things to do, and no terrifying, daunting journey is going to stand in the way of your legacy.
Please, what legacy? I'm just a little tiny woman in a little tiny family. And my town's the smallest town on the map. And now I have to leave the only place I've ever known as home. There's no legacy here. And if you think there is, then you're as crazy as you are wrong. Anyway, who are you? What are you?
I am a story tree, Hannah, and I've existed since before the beginning of time.
The trees, huh? Okay, so where did I miss the days that trees began to talk?
We're always talking. Our job is to plant seeds into the imagination of the souls of men. We've got lots to say. Some people hear us pretty easily, especially little children. And then sometimes people just stop listening. But every once in a while, when there's just a very thin veil that starts to form, we make a special exception and find more direct ways to speak. And just like real trees in bloom, we have our own special way of replanting those seeds. We tell it in a story. Look, here we are in the middle of this beautiful garden, surrounded by these beautiful cedarwood trees. Take a deep breath in. Have you ever inhaled a fragrance so lovely as what they give off? Have you ever noticed how these trees have the most amazing characteristics? See, the leaves remain evergreen because of the sap, their lifeblood that flows year-round. Their roots are as deep as the trunk is wide, and their wood is valuable beyond measure. And when the branches grow together in close proximity like this, they become entwined and support each other. And the more mature they are, the more valuable the seeds are for replanting. And just like you, each one of them has their own remarkable story. You were an amazing songwriter, Hannah. Your songs used to fill people's hearts with pure imagination. Imagination is the key ingredient to dreaming big dreams. I'm so sorry you feel you've lost how to imagine.
Yeah. Well, it looks like my songwriting days are over. It's all just black and white. I don't have anything to say anymore.
Come with me, Hannah. Only for a little while. Come, let me show you this greatest story ever told. Follow me now to a time long ago, the time of creation, where the universe itself was new, where the Creator formed order out of chaos. He molded stars into spirals of light and carved worlds, placing them in precise precision, exactly where he wanted them. His arms waved over the earth and life took hold. Those magnificent angels, his first created beings, loved to roam with him across the land and the sea. Plants and trees carpeted the world with vibrant colors and senses that made one weep. The Creator made his garden here. He longed to pour his love, his essence into his creation. And so he made them, male and female, and he breathed his spirit into them. Behold, the woman Eve, mother to you all. Tell her your story.
Welcome, Hannah. Our story is an amazing one. Of all God's creation, only we were given eternal souls. We were created to worship him and to be recipients of his boundless love. So each morning, our songs of praise filled the garden.
Yahweh, faithful God, you're here to stay. Yahweh, Yahweh, forever and always the same.
Okay, this is a good story. I see trees and a garden and mankind walking with God. So, what happened?
Well, if every story would have its heroes, it must also have its villains. Listen, not all created beings were pleased with the command to bow down to these human beings. Satan, most beautiful of all angels, refused to bow down, and in the guise of a serpent, he deceived them.
We'd been given free will, so we ate the forbidden fruit and ended up banished from the garden. But where Satan thought this would be the end, he obviously didn't read the whole story. Even though we were banished, God never left us alone. He remained firmly in our hearts and in our souls, and we were leaving, weeping in shame. But God commanded the angels to give us new seeds from the garden, to build shelters and grow food. These seeds from the cedar wood were always my favorite. He replanted them everywhere we went, and God watered and nourished them across time. As a matter of fact, this tree has always been at the center of the places where God and man meet. I used to place my children under the shade of this sweet-smelling cedar wood.
Well, Satan was furious at the proliferation of these beings. What enraged him even more was God's promise that the seed of the woman would be the key to mankind's ultimate redemption and his eventual return to the garden. The seed of man is quite similar to that of the cedarwood tree. What begins as the smallest, most humblest forms can grow to reach the sky with all the potential to change the world. Don't you agree, Hannah? Well, Satan knew it was true. And as mankind increased in number and replanted and tended his fields, he schemed. He launched a war against them that would last as long as time was called today. So the stories were told of how the sons of God went into the daughters of men and had children by them and created the Nephilim. Because what better way to pollute the woman's seed with heresy, corruption, wickedness? The word Nephilim itself literally means reject. Man's heart became increasingly corrupt, and this pleased Satan greatly. For his focus now, his one recourse, was to deprive the Creator God from his worship. Place a rift between God and man, and they would no longer meet. Because what better way to kill a dream than to kill a soul? But he didn't take God's unconditional love for his creation into account, and nor did he consider God's plans could never be thwarted. And then, one day, in the middle of vast desert lands, while man continued on his wicked ways, greedy, murderous, rebellious, one day it started to rain, and rain, and rain, and rain. Okay, let's move on before we get too wet. Scene 2. A bright sunny day in the city of Jerusalem, 635 BC, in the magnificent temple colonnade of Solomon's temple. The Israelites have all come to gather around the temple as it's been dedicated. King Solomon himself, adorned with richly ornamented robes, stands before his people. Well, the earth was totally flooded, but when the waters receded, mankind was purified, cleansed, And centuries later, King Solomon grew to become the wealthiest man in all of Israel, and he built the temple of the Lord, a holy place where God and man could once again meet. Look, King Solomon! And he's standing before the people dedicating the temple in the New Year festival. The people gather.
Today, my people, we give thanks for this magnificent temple. You see, years ago, my father, King David, laid the preparations for its completion when the Lord God Almighty declared that I would be the one to build it. So listen, my people, to all the work and effort that brings us to this glorious day. 30,000 great men, craftsmen from Sidon and Tyre, were conscripted to service this project. These skilled laborers felled thousands of mighty cedars of Lebanon, floating logs down the Mediterranean Sea to our Jerusalem shores. King Hiram, my father's friend, and now my sworn brother, sent us silver, gold, artisans, wood crafters, and supplied us with abundant building materials beyond compare. Now, at last, after the centuries of wandering and without a final home, the Ark of the Covenant, resting patiently within the tabernacle, which has been the dwelling place for the divine presence, will at last have a home, never again to wander, but to rest with us, his chosen people. This holy temple is the earthly representation of the Garden of Eden. It was constructed with blocks of stone carved by master builders from Tyre. Great cedar of Lebanon beams held up the ceiling of great structure. This temple is laid out like the tabernacle, with an inner room, the holy room, and the most holy of holies, inlaid with gold and paneled on the interior with fragrant cedar wood. A great veil of linen with vibrant colors of blue and purple and crimson is hung on the entrance to the Holy of Holies. Blue representing the heavens, crimson the earth. Purple, a combination of the two colors, represents a meaning of the heavens and the earth, that all may know the Lord is God. So let us give praise and thanks to the Lord, for with long life the Lord will satisfy me and give me rest from all adversaries.
See? It's fun to let your imagination run free. See?
Are you all ready? Get yourself a little, because this one's going to require some movement. So
But then again, Satan wanted nothing more than to deny God his worship. So he set out to corrupt a soul and destroy a dream. And as time passed, he placed a veil over Solomon's heart. Solomon loved women. He had hundreds of former wives and concubines, and eventually they turned his heart and his head away from God. It was so easy for them to convince Solomon to let them build wooden altars and idols made from the very wood used to build the temple. The destruction of the temple would be his mission until the last cedar beam, the last interior cedar panel was destroyed, and this site would be left with just a mockery. And he got his wish when the temple was plundered by King Nebuchadnezzar, when the Babylonians breached the city wall and burned the temple to the ground.
Then what's the point? If something so powerful as this temple can be destroyed, is there any hope then? Am I wrong? I don't see the point in dreaming again. I do not like this story. There aren't even enough cedar trees left to rebuild a temple like this.
It looks bad. It can look absolutely hopeless. But let me tell you, as long as there's still a single seed left for replanting, there'll always be hope. Come on, one final stop along the way.
We are more than just mere bits of the story. We are in you as you are in all of us. Even when you forget who you are and whose you are, as I once did. Never forget that the ending of the story has already been written. So don't worry. We love you and we always will.
Where are we now? Wait a minute. We're in another garden. I'm sensing a theme here. I smell sweet aroma of cedar wood in the air, just like in the temple. Look how tall and majestic these trees are. And look, these cedar branches are entwined too. You are right. These trees will always be replanted. So keep going. Let's hear more of the story.
Well, again, the centuries passed, and each civilization grew more fierce and powerful than the last. The Syrians, the Babylonians, the Persians, the Greeks, and of course, the Romans, with their military might and laws of conquest that spread across the known world. And it was in this time period that God chose to replant his ultimate seed as an infant, limited and bound by laws of time and space, Christ the Lord. God was so pleased to replant his greatest garden and rebuild his perfect temple. Well, Satan knew that if ever there was a time to act, it was here. And it was now. So here, at the foot of the Mount of Olives in this garden, was the most ferocious battle Satan ever waged. He finally tried to destroy that perfect temple, the only true way back to God. Hannah, do you want to know why? Do you want to know why here? Why now? Go. See.
Look. We're not alone. Shh. over there, among the olive groves. He's kneeling. He's whispering. He's praying. Wait a minute. I hear him. He's in anguish. He's saying, Father, please take this cup from me. But not my will, but yours be done. Yes, I will do your will to save Hannah, because I know you love her so much. He's doing all of this for me? This story, from beginning to end. It's all for me?
Of course it is. This story has always been about you. Every person you meet writes a new chapter in it. Every experience you have is an ongoing page. So now, Hannah, please, take away that veil covering your heart and see the whole story behind you. And see how God continued to use those cedar beams, how they stood firm, with branches entwined, the lifeblood flowing forever, with a glorious fragrance pleasing to God. It grew from the smallest seed to the most valuable wood in the very form and purpose God intended it to be.
I can feel the power of God's words right here, planted in my heart.
Just like a temple made of wood, the temple of flesh is fragrant and highly prized. A human soul is valuable beyond measure, and when God plants his hopes and dreams into you, it becomes like those cedars of Lebanon that once built Solomon's mighty temple.
Oh,
Hannah, Satan will never overcome this temple, but he'll continue to try with lies and deceit that take away your hopes and dreams. Always remember how valuable you are, so you can grow to your fullest potential. We're here to remind you to know your own story, just as well as you've come to know ours. Believe me when I tell you, our story has the power to shake the whole earth.
And let me say again, we are more than just words, letters. We are truly in you, just as you are in all of us. Sometimes you may forget who you are, but I want you to remember, as I once made you never forget the ending of this story. It has always been already been written. So don't worry, we really truly love you, and we always will.
Well, you've heard our tale. I think you're ready to hear other stories now. Now it's time to awaken, Hannah. Wake up. Stand firm with faith. She has her own story to tell you.
Hannah, are you okay? Yeah, you tripped a second ago and you just got there. Are you okay?
yeah, I'm okay. But you know what? I was wrong. You were right. I think I'm ready to hear your story now. Would you share it with me?
Jesus. She stumbled through the tears that made her blind. She felt such pain. Some spoke in anger, heard folks whisper, there's no place here for her kind. Still on she came, through the shame that flushed her face, until at last she knelt before his feet. And though she spoke no words, everything she said was heard, as she poured her love for the master from her box of alabaster. And I've come to pour my praise on him like oil from Mary's alabaster box. Don't be angry if I wash his feet with my tears and I dry them with my hair. You were there the night he found me. You did not feel what I felt when he wrapped his loving arms around me. And you know the cost of the oil in my alabaster box. I can't forget the way life used to be. I was a prisoner through the sin that had me bound. And I spent my days, poured my life without measure into a little treasure box I thought I found. Until the day when Jesus came to me and healed my soul with the wonder of his touch. So now I'm giving back to him all the praise he's worthy of. I've been forgiven, and that's why I love him so much. My praise on him like oil from Mary's alabaster box. Don't be angry if I wash his feet with my tears and I dry them with my hair. The night Jesus found me, you did not feel what I felt when he wrapped his loving arms around me. And you know the cost of the oil. Now you know the cost of my praise. You know the cost of the oil in my alabaster
Hannah, take all this to heart. You are God's temple, and your heart is his garden. You are the cedar beams and the fragrant cedar panelings. Never stop imagining. Never stop dreaming. Your life story is a powerful legacy, Hannah. History may not remember your name, but it will be impacted by what you've done. The songs you sing, standing side by side with faith, will be more famous than you'll ever know. They will be used to spread the good news to multitudes of people and will ignite the imagination and the dreams of many who will come after you. Your legacy, Hannah, the one that God designed for you since the beginning of time.
Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, tired of living life in black and white. There's so much in between, like a rainbow in the sky, crying to be seen when I open my eyes to find inspiration. I search for the best I can see. If I settle for less, I won't be the best I can be. When I dream in color. There is so much I want to discover. There are so many good reasons to capture a dream. Life's too short, so I've been told, and time is a very precious thing. I wanna go to where I've never been and see what's never been seen. When I wake up each morning, I won't take for granted. There'll always be a brand new day. Gotta live for each moment. Never let time slip away. Hey, when I dream in color. There is so much I want to discover. There are so many good reasons to capture a dream. About people and places and not knowing how to dream when I dream. I dream in color. There is so much I want to discover. Show me a child you never had seen. A vision of what his life really means. I'll give you many good reasons to capture a
So, Hannah, know your own story. Trust your own story. This is a special special gift from God that as you mature with wisdom and experience, you come to realize the true value and worth of your own unique story. Listen, we're always here with you. Always. And hey, bet you'll never look at a tree in quite the same way again, will you?
For them from the seniors. We're going to pull them out. We're going to introduce them as we hand them out. The first one goes to Lisa Thompson. Tess. Robert Jordan. Marlene Milton. With Jacqueline Cooper. With Jacqueline. Come on, Jacqueline. Come on. He's glad you up here. Rita, come on, Rita. Rita's out there. Here's Rita. Here's Rita. Ross, guitarist. Superior Jordan. Mr. Palmer. Okay. We're almost there, baby. We're almost there. Working it down. Yeah, there you go. Chi-Chi. I won't go back to that. Alicia. Marvina. That's it, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, Michelle is the author, producer, writer, everything. I told Michelle, give us something, and she gave us something. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, DJ, you ready? Mike Williams is the DJ. He calls me Pops all the time. This is on you. This is the party time.
They call me Kid Promise. I'm your DJ for this evening. And just because of the way I look, don't think I can't get down. I know about the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and 80s. And that's what we're going to do now. We're going to have a good time. We're music, we're doing music. But before we get there, let's get into some line dancing right now. And I need to try to dance here.